Kevin Gallagher, I feel like we've been here before.
I feel like we haven't left yet.
Didn't we just do this?
Did we just do this last night? Andre looks good, man. He looks in pretty good shape. This is the best shape I've seen him in ever.
Yeah, dude. Since he made that switch to fight sports, he started losing some weight, man.
Yeah, you know those guys go hard at fight sports.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the favorites. So did you give him a 1 seed or a 2 seed? Is it
I do not seed. I make matches that I want to see.
Yeah, I like that. But he's definitely one of the favorites.
Dude, Ryan is one of the biggest dark horses in the division. And I was really excited about this match because I wanted to see this the first Battle of the Axe.
Right.
And it didn't happen. They were on opposite sides of the bracket. So
both two big athletic kids.
Yeah. I got some shit from Kodiak for making this match. I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. No, start your own tournament.
There's life, exactly.
I love Chad, but, you know,
exactly.
I'll make the matches I want to see, man.
Exactly. 100%.
So
you got to beat him eventually anyway.
What's exactly.
What's the difference? Do it in the first round or do it in the last round?
The things I'm really interested in this one is because Andre won the previous open, or sorry, Sam won the previous one, and Andre won the open weight before this. So we got 2 returning champs in here, and Ryan is one of those guys that, like, if he's on, he's a world beater. He's been training a lot with Tex, which is funny because Tex has been down at Fight Sports as well. So when he's in Atlanta, he's training with Sean Applegate and those guys, and then when he's in Miami, he's down at Fight Sports.
A little bit of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. That's the jiu-jitsu world we live in now.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Training with everybody. You know their game anyway. There's nothing, no fanciness anymore, no new tricks. We all kind of figure it out. Andre trying to work inside to control that knee, see if he works to fix. Maybe roll through with the opposite leg. Sam's doing a good job at pinning the leg down so he can't elevate.
Yeah, the interesting here is Andre's decent in the legs, man. The only time I've seen him get finished by leg locks is by, like, Quentin.
Yeah. He's a good leg lock guy. He loves that deep half guard, too.
Yeah, but Ryan's pretty good with those triangles, too. So this is almost into a reverse triangle. Oh, here we go with the haze.
Andre coming out for the leg up. I tell you, I've competed against Andre before, and he. Oh wow, that was a little rough. I've competed against Andre before, and he has a super tough guard to pass. His guard is just ridiculously strong. For being such a big guy, his flexibility is ridiculous.
You know, Kevin, for being a 3-time world champion, you're surprisingly humble.
You know, humility. Old age has taught me, you know, the joys and the treasures of being a humble person. Josh.
Ryan's doing a really good job of maintaining his inside control with that right instep. You know, Andre's looking to kind of get control of that. Man, I don't even know what to call that kind of guard, but he's trying to pull that leg through, looking for some outside heel hooks. But
kind of a reverse De La Hiva maybe type position.
It's a weird
deep half guard
De La Hiva type game.
I play a lot of that deep half guard De La Hiva game.
Because you're old, man.
I know. It's an old man's game.
Yeah. You and Joe Bays, man, two really good at it.
It's the only way I can hang with these young bucks anymore.
So we got about 7 minutes left in this match.
Still a good match, though.
Great match. Very technical.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job of keeping his foot down. He's very balanced on that front foot, so Andre can't roll through him or elevate him.
I fucking love watching my blue belts have to take on brown and black belts. Anytime my guys are in a tournament, I'm looking over at Danny. He just got heel hooked by a black belt. I'm like, this is what you get when you compete in my tournament.
You're brutal. I love it. I love it. You give him the hardest.
Danny Harris is working the camera. She's like, I want to compete. And I'm like, no, you don't. Because when you guys compete on my show, I give you guys, like, super hard matches.
You give Josh a meal first round.
Yeah.
See if we go for that toe.
Oh, good attempt.
Yeah. Andre trying to swim through for that.
He's doing these little foot sweeps in the bottom. It's really interesting.
Kind of brutal. It's rough too. I mean, I imagine he has something off of that, but it's just watching it from the outside doesn't look like it's going to have much effect on off balancing his opponent. Just like he's just kicking him in the ankle.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man.
Still trying to swim through on an inside leg to roll underneath for the deep half guard, possibly. You know, I would tell you, as from experience, Andre does have an amazing calf slicer. He's got those big legs. For those of you the Flow Grappling fans, if you click on Flow Grappling, you can see me getting my legs shattered by Andre Pallavino in a calf slicer.
There should be a lawsuit for this ageism. You know,
I think so too.
Why are we gonna put these geriatric patients like Kevin Gallagher in there against these 22-year-olds?
The best part of it is the guys from Ditch King are like personal friends of mine forever, and they chose that to be the poster. Not to say I'm bitter is an understatement, but I love him anyway. It's the life. It's still a good picture.
Now he's starting to look to elevate to this little hook guard here.
Trying to go for that Lachlan Giles swim through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I like about Andre, man. Is his game always is evolving. He's always getting new wrinkles. Like, I'm thinking about his matches just a year ago. You know, he wasn't playing a lot of this stuff.
You know, he's one of the only guys down there at Fight Sports that you really see out competing actively in these submission-only time matches. He likes to go out there and really play. And his game is active towards that submission game. He's trying for things. He's looking for submissions.
Yeah, Andre's man, he's gonna be.
He's getting there. He's got a little time, but he's definitely on the right track. Yeah. Can't get anything but better training down there in that room. I believe he's a gi and no gi brown belt world champion, Pan Am champion. See if you can roll through and isolate that leg for a straight ankle lock. So I'd like to see Andre try to swim that outside leg through it underneath for an ashi maybe instead of sinking. He's making himself a little bit too one-dimensional by going straight into that deep half guard every single time. And if you could take his bottom leg and swim back and forth and roll through and maybe come up for an inside ashi and work from there and start that scramble up. And there's that flexibility we talked about. His guard is ridiculously hard to pass. He can do that all day long. For being such a big guy, see if he tries to roll through for that downed knee. Looks like he's going to try for it maybe. Come up for an inside heel hook off of that. Honey hole position off of that. There he's still trying to roll over. But again, his leg is on the outside, so it's not going to have an entanglement through if he swims through.
Got about 3.5 left in this match here.
Andre's still inverted underneath.
Ryan Aitken.
Yeah, Ryan's hasn't he's doing a good job of evading Andre's attacks, but I'd like to see him come up with a few attacks of his own. I'd like to see him maybe open his game up and try to work for some passes and get the action kind of flowing a little bit more. He's doing a good job of shutting down Andre's game, but unfortunately we're not scoring points for almost here. We need to get some no advantages here. Love to see guys in submission-only matches actively going for submissions. You got to sell out for those things. It's a submission-only match.
Now, this is the interesting thing to me is the overtime aspect, because I know Ryan has been working with Sean Applegate a lot, and they do a lot of overtime. And Andre, he's won my events before, and he's done well in overtime, but Fight Sports isn't technically very known for their EBI overtime game.
We were just talking about that last night, too. If you're not actively training for EBI overtime, you're just not prepared for it, whether you think you are or not. You have to understand the strategical aspects of what's involved with ride time and finishing.
Yeah, especially when you have matches with guys who are training it multiple times a week.
But I tell you, in my opinion, I like the idea of an overtime, but I still think in a submission-only match, you need to be going for submissions. I don't like guys that coast their way through overtime. I want to see them go out there and try to put an exclamation point on it and finish it in regulation. You never really know what happens in overtime. Even if you train for it, it's still a coin flip.
Yeah. Ryan's on this straight ankle, but he doesn't really have that foot on the hip and doesn't really have that elbow behind the back. So he's kind of trying to see what he can look for from here. I know Andre's starting to look for that calf slicer.
He'll jump up on that thing real quick. But with the straight ankle lock, it's going to be tougher there. See if he can swim through
He's
for
looking
it
now.
He's looking for it now. He's still on that straight ankle lock, though.
Yeah, I've seen Andre do that a couple times in competition.
Yeah, he'll bait that and wait for him to forget about it and come up.
It's interesting, though, because it is a risk. Sometimes you end up getting in an inside heel hook position here. So if Ryan were... if I was in his shoes, I'd be trying to swim that leg over as he's looking for that calf slicer to open up my own inside.
Yeah, swim them on the outside and feed the leg across.
Yep. We're under a minute left in this match. Looking like we might go to overtime.
Andre's flexibility to come up, see if he can come back now. He's up on the calf slicer possibly. Ryan right back into the straight ankle lock. That calf slicer takes a lot of the...
I just see it. Now we're in an interesting game here. We're almost in that inside heel hook for Ryan. We got 28 seconds left, so this is
Andre looking up at the clock to see how much time he has left as they roll off the mat. He's doing a good job of keeping his foot out. See if he can start clearing his legs out. Good work. Nice work.
Yeah, Joe does a good job of letting these things go as far as you can. You know,
I was just going to say that. It was a good job of letting the action go.
Yeah.
A la ADCC. It's the way it should be. Oh, Andre giving a little smack to get things going. I'll tell you, man, I am not opposed to a little gamesmanship. You got to get inside you guys' heads.
So listen, man, I've been telling everyone, instead of hey, I'm going to start doing a little bit of Letterkenny over here. My fans, if you're watching, we're all going to do the train horn.
Moving into overtime. This will be, like you said, this makes it interesting because I think that Andre may be the better athlete, but Ryan is probably the better coach in EBI overtime rules.
All right. So it sounds like Ryan's going to hop on the back first. Yep. We got Ryan on the back first.
Expect for Andre to roll out of here like a cannon, like he shot out of a cannon. He's a
good head position from Ryan,
guy.
Man. Tight head
Got
position.
Got the leg split. Andre doing a good job of trying to break that off. Oh, he's on the choke. He's on that choke.
He's on that choke.
He's underneath that throat. It's not deep,
man.
But he can see punching that through.
Oh,
Andre's definitely
he's
underneath
through,
the chin.
Man.
He's walking the arm up.
Good head position. Andre's not too worried yet.
Yeah, but you can't let that keep going.
No, you can't let that keep going.
Before you know it, you're in trouble.
Right away, I'm seeing a higher understanding of the overtime game from Ryan.
Andre's still trying to break apart that body lock with his feet.
And look how right away he gets that head position again.
Yeah, right underneath the head. Very important. For those of you at home, keeping your head underneath your opponent's head while you're on the back is essential to controlling the position.
So the thing with the head position is, yes, it's a wedge between you and the mat, but it really consolidates your chest to back control.
Exactly.
And I tell my guys, like, hooks are great, but chest to back control is what's
everything.
Exactly.
Is everything.
Now he's starting to come across that face again.
I'm working for maybe a mandible choke or a face crack. Mandible. What an odd word that is.
Mandible strangle.
I just like the word. Nice, Andre.
Nice.
Got it?
Yes.
Good work, Andre, trying to take a little tape off his hand.
You know, these gamesmanship, you know. I like to...
Anybody got some scissors to cut this off of here for him?
Use your teeth.
It's
off.
There we go. That's off.
That's a souvenir, folks.
There we go. It'll be worth some money one day. Probably not.
Ryan's looking good, man. Last time he was here, he was a lot bigger. You know, I mean, he's still big, but he looks like he's trimmed down. His cardio's looking good.
Let's see if Andre can return the favor. Ryan's already out. Got that bottom foot out. He's already halfway through. If Andre needs to turn him back down to the opposite side, it looks like he's already out of that position. Good job. He's very close. Very close.
Yeah, he's got
Joe's looking very. Referee Joe McBride's looking to
clear
call this. Nice. Good escape. Good job. I tell you, man, I would venture to say that Andre is lost a little bit by losing that weight. I think he's a little bit better, a little bit bigger, to tell you the truth. I don't think he had as much mass behind him to elevate and roll people through.
Nice. Andre really looking to get out that time.
Andre looking to get out hard, turning fast.
Ryan's got that head
Good
position.
job
Try
on
not
the
to
head
roll into
position.
my fucking table, guys.
Andre still got to clear that arm triangle.
And there
Nice,
he's
nice. Good match. Andre with decidedly behind on ride time. I think it's
going in the bottom of the second.
Going in the bottom of the second. I think he needs to catch up
Ryan.
here.
Oh, right away. Ryan's got that head position and that shoulder down on the mat.
Right on the mat.
Yeah.
It's not going to be long before he's free from here.
Yeah, he's almost out of this. If he just explodes a little bit, that crossface saved him.
Andre's still on. Oh, good adjustment. Good adjustment back on Andre. You can use that inside hook now. Good job.
Nice. He's out.
Nice match. Andre needs to get out quick here.
Yeah, he needs to get out quick. All right, so we're in the last round of overtime. Top of the third. Ryan's up on ride time. Right back to the back.
Sucks that
That's close.
that arm triangle is actually pretty deep. Yeah.
pretty
Andre's
deep.
mad, but it still definitely could be finished from that position. Yeah, it definitely could be finished. It's still a submission attempt.
If he gets his elbow out.
Pop. One last pop for the clear. Man, I can tell you from experience, there is nothing more.
All right, so bottom of the third.
There are not too many things more grinding than going through the third round of an EBI overtime when you've just had a 10-minute match. And you know you have nothing to do but escape. You have to get out. You have to explode. You have to be fast and explosive and athletic. Ryan got his back on the ground already again.
Oh, double underhooks this time.
This time. Nice.
This time
back to the old school Brazilian.
Yeah. Ethan Carlson did a real good job with those double underhooks in overtime. Jiu-jitsu overtime.
See if Andre just plays the smart game and holds on here.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was smart, that's what he would do. Ryan just needs to keep rotating.
I wouldn't be mad at him if he did.
No,
but
that's what he needs to do.
That's what you have to do. That's part of the game. Oh, man. Riding on him like a backpack.
Yeah.
The profound Portuguese being shouted by his coach from
the
listen,
man. You start yelling "fuck" at an event, and they all get mad. But you yell "Paul" and
nobody cares.
Paul got at you.
No,
we're good,
cares.
you know. Trust me, I've been the guy yelling "fuck" at the tournaments, getting easy.
Exactly. I need to learn Portuguese so I can. Andre chunking away a whole lot of ride time here, man. Again, nice. Oh, this is a close one. This is gonna be close.
This is gonna be close.
This will be really, really close. I think one more round we go still.
Nope. This is it. I gotta tabulate.
This is gonna be close.
Yeah.
I am.
Stop talking into the mic.
We're waiting for Mr. Joshua Luke to tabulate.
Trying to be professional.
Very professional of him. He's got his calculator out. Don't miss ad. I'm trying not to give it away, but I know the answer already. Waiting for the official announcement from Joe McBride. Both competitors exhausted on the mat. Good on both of these guys. Very impressive display. Both super, super tough competitors. Great match.
Ryan.
Once again, waiting for the official call. It was close, though, wasn't it?
It was very close.
Very close.
That was close, man.
What was the official? What was the